Mitra and Bandhuvam, welcome to South Asia Maps Intellectual Kshatriya channel, education channel. I have opened this series of human ecology, predicament or population historical perspective for you. Why you need to listen this series? Because you will get a very good clarity of ecology, the study of environment and organism, how organisms impact the environment, how environment impacts the organism, plays a very vital role in our day-to-day lives. If you follow this series and listen to them, you will get a very deeper understanding of how these events, not the political events, leadership plays a very minor role in our lives. You will appreciate and discern that. That's why I have opened this particular playlist in my YouTube channel. I already have more than 300 plus presentations on varied diverse topics, and South Asia Maps J. Reddy organized them into 30 or so playlists. You can go and find them and as per your interest. the today's part 83 presentation is energy transformations and economy. Agriculture niches versus ecological niches you will get. Here this is the sun. This is the process of photosynthesis, harvesting the sun's energy by the plant systems, that is a carbon reduction. That means that essentially very low energy returns. That makes possible the traditional farming niches, agricultural niches, horticultural niches, broadly animal husbandry also. So energy transformations and economy. Here we see the detritus. Detritus means decaying organic matter, dead organic matter. If an animal falls off on the savanna or tree is cut, that is the detritus, decaying or dead. Historically, millions of years back, such organisms were transformed into coal, oil, gas today. That is detritus. Any organism that eats, that is called detritivore. Humans are detritivore because they are eating them and living. Cars are also detritivores, are detritivore devices because they need oil to run. This is a very inexpensive energy, and excess energy per capita. If you take 1 gallon of oil or 1 liter, you have so much amount of energy. This makes possible in the energy transformation economy what is called MIC niches, military industrial complex niches, essentially social, political, economic niches of modern times. For example, the software engineer, the doctors, and so on. These are the MIC niches. These are the farming niches. We will look at it. Excuse me. The work, job, employment, all are created when energy from one form to another is converted. That is called energy transformation. We know the basic thermodynamic laws that energy is not created by humans. It is given to us by the nature. We can use it. That means when the energy is converted from one form to another form, employment is created, work is created, job opportunities are created. Take for example, we have energy, sun's energy and solar energy, the photosynthesis. You sow a crop in 10 acres of the land, corn or wheat. The energy is converted. You get, let's say, 100 bags of corn, among which you keep as owner, provider, a farmer, 80 bags and give the remaining 20 to the farm workers, where you create a farm niches. You are also himself a farm worker because you held the land, you get the most privileges. So during this transformation of solar energy to the process of photosynthesis, basic farm niches are added: agricultural, horticultural, floricultural, animal husbandry niches. Photosynthesis transformation is a farming related work. Whereas you take this is a detritus, one-time energy that the nature stored, historical energy. You can use the oil, coal and gas and create industrial societies, and you can complexify the system, software engineer, the automobiles, the building of the roads, insurance companies, so on. So when this energy, this is the fossil fuel energy, very dense energy, is converted, large number of jobs are created, and these jobs are also very high paying jobs. They provide MIC niches, military industrial complex niches. Because of there is a very high energy density there are many job opportunities in the industrial societies. Fossil fuel transformation creates MIC niches, that is the military industrial complex niches. Suppose what happens if there is no this energy, or this energy becomes scarce, very expensive, as we are eventually within 1 to 3 decades hit the lower part of the oil drum, the oil will not be available to us that is available today. Then you just bankers create fiat money. If you create a fiat money, that creates inflation. If there is no energy, because all our jobs are chemical transformation, energy transformation, remember. If there is no energy, there is less energy. If the central bankers create fiat money, they will not be mapped to the resources, energy transformations. They're simply mapped to the fiat currency. That's why the products and services, even the food becomes very expensive. Why? Because nothing is achieved. The fiat currency has no intrinsic value that is brought into existence by the central bankers as for their desire, for their whims and fancies. That is the fiat currency, or digital money, or fiat money. If the new money created mapped to the same resource and the product, that means there is no extra resources, there is there is not much oil, no more roads are built, they are not tarred, no more new automobiles built, no insurance company started on those things. There is just essentially inflation. This is called diachronic competition. When you create fiat money that is not mapped to a resource, there is less oil, less fossil fuel resources, detritus. You are essentially extracting by that money, but temporarily you may get advantages, but eventually the inflation means the coming generation, your children, grandchildren will pay for that. That is called diachronic competition, intergenerational competition. That means the current generation, previous generation stealing from their children, grandchildren, posterity. The government, central banks, control banks can bring the more fiat money, more digital money into circulation, but cannot bring the fossil fuels. They cannot fill a coal pit, they cannot fill a oil well, and they cannot fill a water aquifer. Essentially, the political leadership and governments will have very little role in human destiny or prosperity. You may think, okay, right now if you vote a particular government in a particular area, it is giving certain more money or freebies. That's a different story. That is what zero-sum game. They are giving a reservations for a particular section due to some reason or other, but taking the worker employment from other section of the society. Essentially, the leadership cannot do much because they cannot create resources. This is a very, very important. We have to keep in mind. So, this talk should give you a very deeper understanding of all the jobs are created and the economy is generated only during the energy transformation. Simple solar energy doesn't give much because of farming niches, they won't pay that much. And whereas the detritus ecosystem, fossil fuel energies will give more. That is the point. So we discussed this particular part, energy transformation and economy. Before that, we looked at the population pressures, MICD, mutual interference per capita per day. What is a underdeveloped nation meaning 1820s, 2020s? The new world is now still new, old, and old world is still old. Old world means plenty of people, crowded, less jobs. Though the new world, that is the Americas, Australia, Canada, and New Zealand, are essentially the old world now. So those, we looked at it, and we also looked at how many people are contributed per decade from various important Indian provinces, like United Provinces contributes 33 or 35 million people per decade to India, and India contributes 100 million people per decade to the planet Earth. The planet Earth has, as of today, 8 billion humans, that is 8,000 million people. In Indian terms, that is 800 crore humongous population. These are such basic carrying capacity, drawdown, new world, old world. We discussed about that. So the basic ideas come from Overshoot and Bottleneck Century, these two prominent works of Dr. William Catton Jr. That is the energy transformations and economy. Hope this helped you to understand the issues in deeper perspective. Mitrum and Bandhum, if you like it, and I will be very happy if you subscribe the channel and bring it to the notice of your friends, and I'll be very glad to know your comments or any constructive criticisms and how we are taking this the presentations. And see you later in other presentations. Dr. J. Reddy, South Asia Maps.